Hello there. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak. I'm an organizational and productivity coach and a certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. I support my clients and my community with coaching, in-person and virtual organizing, my weekly podcast called Your Organized Life with Colleen Klimczak, a free weekly virtual productivity session called Finish Line Friday, a free weekly email newsletter, and regular content on Facebook and Instagram. I also offer presentations and professional development to groups and companies. And coming soon, I'll be launching a membership circle to support my community with even more coaching and productivity content. Want to finish strong with me this week? Join me for Finish Line Friday every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. Welcome to episode 86, I do believe. So it is the heart of summer. I hope that you go back and listen to this in summers to come, but I want to share some ideas today about packing for travel or trips or adventures. And I know that's a very specific topic, definitely specific for summer, since that's when a lot of us travel. Like I said, I hope you come back to this and think these thoughts again with me whenever these trips come up. So I was reminded recently that there are many ways that people pack for trips or adventures or vacations. And if you ever travel with at least one other person, you likely know that there are options and also that your ways are not necessarily other people's ways. So some folks pack weeks in advance to make sure that all the bases are covered. Some folks pack hours or even moments before they head out the door. And some of us are somewhere in between. Some of us pack only the essentials and end up with just enough, we hope. And some of us like to pack extras because we like options. Some of us pack methodically with color-coded packing cubes, checklists, shoe bags, and a schedule per day. And for some of us, we're lucky if we have a matched pair of socks and a toothbrush. To be honest, any of these ways can work for any of us. I'm not here to judge as to which strategy you may choose to use. Unless, of course, what you're doing isn't working for you. I was chatting with a friend last week, and she shared that she never knew what she would find when she gets to her destination and opens her suitcase. She reports a major disconnect for her between the packing process and the actual traveling that she does. Similarly, another friend recently said that the person who packs doesn't always think of the person who's traveling, and yet it's the same person. I personally use a blend of styles. There are some things that are always packed, or that I can set aside days before we leave. And then there are some things that go in the suitcase or the backpack in the last 5 minutes before we head out the door. And that blend works for me. Let's face it, travel can sometimes be stressful. And I find it even more troublesome that sometimes we let the potential stress of packing and prep keep us from even traveling or saying yes to adventures. So let's explore options to make your packing work for you regardless of your packing personality. Let's step back a few steps from the packing process to get started. First, we need to make sure that we own the right clothes. And if we don't, we need to factor in shopping time. What do I mean by that? So there are times when clients don't own a swimming suit or sturdy hiking shoes or an appropriate raincoat for an upcoming trip. We don't need to ask why, but we do need to look ahead while planning and make sure we aren't buying a swimsuit at the airport or hiking trails in flip-flops. All of that takes planning. Identify the needs for your trip, check in on what you already own, and fill in the gaps at least a few weeks before you leave. Next up, we need to check the weather for your destination, both current and historical, for when you plan to be there. When you check the weather app today, it may be unseasonably cool or hot at your destination. So find out what is typical for your time of year at your destination. And still bring a raincoat, an umbrella, or a few layering pieces for just in case. Next, identify your favorites or your go-tos. For example, when working with a client years ago, she called her typical summer outfit the uniform, capital T, capital U, the uniform. Discussing this further, she pointed out that most of the young moms and fellow nurses that she hung out with typically daily wore a neutral or solid short or skirt paired with a colorful V-neck cotton t-shirt. And as we stood in her closet, she and I, both of us wearing the uniform at that moment, I realized she was so right. So what are your favorites? What is your uniform? Yeah, pack that. Use a packing list if you'd like, and you can use that as a repacking list too, if that would help. When my kids were small, we had a little poster on their door with pictures on it to help them pack. First of all ensembles were rolled up together because it makes life easier and takes up less space. On the poster were pictures of shorts, shirt, underwear, and socks per day, with a couple of extras because things get spilled. Also on the list was one nice outfit for church, some swim stuff, some PJs, one hoodie, and shoes. Guess what? That formula still works, even for grown-ups. We had that list posted where we live and also in our usual travel destination to help them make sure that what left the house also made it back to the house. Relatedly, try packing with a color scheme. I was looking at a friend's family photo taken at a recent 4th of July family reunion. There were probably 50 or 60 people in the photo. Not everyone matched each other exactly, but everyone had on khaki bottoms and a red, white, or blue top. Now imagine for yourself what a color scheme would look like and pack within that color scheme so everything in your bag matches everything else. I consider this adult Garanimals. Do you remember Garanimals? I remember Garanimals. Everything matches, right? So my favorite neutral is navy blue. So especially when I pack, I stick with clothes and shoes, etc. that work with navy. I want to say a few final words about clothes. Your clothes are not the most interesting thing about you, I hope. Meaning, pack what you need to make your trip run smoothly and cut yourself some slack. This is not Fashion Week, right? Similarly, remind yourself that most people you see while you're on vacation, other than the folks you're traveling with, don't know you and will never see you again. So, to repeat, pack what you need to make your trip run smoothly and cut yourself some slack. All of this seems reminiscent of the visit to the EP podcast I made last summer when we talked about packing. I think I need to track down that past episode and share that one again. Okay, and now here are some not clothes packing tips. So first up, I want us to always have some things pre-packed or always packed, like our toiletry bag, our charger bag, or cosmetics. A client last week asked me what type of travel bag I use for my cosmetics. And I laughed because I am not a complicated person. So the same small bag of like 6 things that holds my entire collection of cosmetics, it lives in my medicine cabinet at home, is the same bag that goes with me as well. So it's always ready to go. Like I said, not very complicated. In addition, I always keep my travel toiletry bag stocked and ready to go. And the charger bag for all of our tech is always packed and in my go bag for work. So I just need to move it over to our travel bags when we travel. So having those things packed ahead of time saves so much frustration later. Just a thought. Next up, as you travel, once in a while, I'm just going to leave that out there. Could be every summer, could be once a year, could be a couple times a year. Take everything out of your wallet and make a copy of both sides of each card and your passport if you're traveling abroad. Leave the copies and your itinerary with your spouse or an adult child or your house sitter or in an easy to find place at home in case you have to call home for information. That's just being safe, right? Also, assign a home in your bags for your most important items, meaning money, passports, car keys, cell phones, medications. For example, always use the same backpack pocket or the top left inside corner of your suitcase for those things. You and your travel companions should know where those vital items are at all times. Finally, if you're traveling by car this summer, keep swimsuits and towels in a separate, ventilated, and easy-to-reach bag so everyone can get to the pool or lake quickly, and suits and towels have a better chance to dry fully between swims. There is nothing smellier than old swimsuits and towels that don't get out of the bag soon enough when you get home from your travels. I hope these ideas help you out with packing for your next adventures. I know I had fun thinking about it. Support around getting things done is what productivity coaching is all about. If it's time to invest in yourself and explore coaching for organizing and productivity, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through any of my social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Thanks so much, and I will talk to you next week.